Hello, welcome to my channel. This week I'll be building up and painting this rocket transport from the vintage TV series The Land of the Giants. It was also known as the Spindrift. The show was also produced by Irwin Allen, who also made shows like Voice to the Bottom of the Sea, Lost in Space and The Time Tunnel. This kit is made by Mobius Models, a well-known brand, and the only instructions that come with this kit are on the rear of the box. That's about half as much of what you need. And this is the only image of the shuttlecraft itself, so we have no idea what it looks like from the rear, underneath or the interior. So unless you watch a lot of repeat, you have to do some guesswork. Right, I'm going to open it all up and see exactly what we get inside this kit. Right, we have the main plastic component for the ship. The colour is close enough to what it should be in the show, so I'm going to try and get away without painting it. And these are the clear parts. So we had the stand and we had the windows. The decals are in this bag, we'll save them for later, as I don't want to risk getting any moisture on them. And then lastly we had the interior pieces, but I'll get onto that when we cover that section. Right, I'm going to crack on with this build. Just bear with me on this project, I wasn't very well when I made this, so my hand-eye coordination was worse than usual. And you might still hear a bit of croakiness in my voice. Right, so remove all the pieces, then clean up all the edges. All the parts which have grills on them need painting. I figured the easiest way to do this would be using black ink. And then just dry brush on some silver for the raised areas. It will end up looking like this, and then we're ready to assemble it. Then it's just a matter of adding some model cement to the top and bottom pieces. And then push fit it all together and hold it in place until it sets. And then I keep going, giving each piece a chance to cure in between. The windows also go in nice and easily. Now this is where things start to go wrong. Now with the exception of the reverse of these cards which tell you which tab glues to which tab, there is no instructions and no visual representation of what it should look like once it's finished. Which means I have to do a lot of guesswork and hope for the best. Things didn't go too bad for the main section, but the next two pieces which were impossible to get right. These make up the cockpit and the control panels. But this ended up being too big to fit in the slot provided, so I just discarded it altogether and came up with a new solution. I simply painted all the windows black. And now that I have no interior to worry about, I can finally attach the front section. The next job is to attach the fin. This wraps around from the top all the way to the bottom. This was very nerve-wracking to attach because it felt like at any moment it could break in two. But finally, after a big push, the peg dropped into place. There's just a couple of small pieces left to attach. Starting off with this sensor at the front, followed by a small antenna at the top. And then I attached it to the stand so that I can get started with the decals. As you can see, I've already added the stripe, which wraps around the front and the side of the vehicle. And now I'm adding the logo to one side. Then it's just a matter of nudging it into place. And once all the decals are on, I then move on to the painting, in which case I only need to add a little bit of silver in a couple of places. Now for me, this vehicle is way too clean, so I'm going to use a mixture of all these dirt powders to help build up a little bit of texture and character. Add the streaks in the same direction of which the Spindrift travels. This will help add to its authenticity and help sell the illusion that it has travelled through space and crashed onto ground. You can see how the pigment gather up in certain places, like across the edges. This is where it will gather naturally, given enough time. Once that's all done, I seal it all in with some matte sealer. And now the Spindrift is ready for its maiden voyage. This is an okay kit. It's nice and cheap and fairly straightforward. However, I'm assuming this is a recasting from an older kit, which would help explain its minimalistic instructions, as well as the lower standards to what modelers tend to have these days. But I'm not going to get too critical. At the end of the day, this is the only kit on the market that I can find for the Spindrift, and it will make a nice addition to my shelf. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.